FuzzJockRadio!
Hut, hut, hike!
And we are back with FuzzJockRadio. I'm your host, Fuzzy, and we have our host,
J-Mez.
And our host,
Sea.Dubbz.
And we're all here, back another week. Big week ahead of us, a big week that just passed.
So many big weeks.
A bunch of big weeks. And we're going to go all over all of those big weeks tonight on FuzzJockRadio. We are live. Unless if you're listening on Tuesday, this is a recording. But, but that's just kind of the way it works. So yeah, guys, we're back. It's episode 7. How you guys feeling?
I can't believe we made it this far.
And that's right. We have fucking Sea.Dubbz is back from vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Sea.Dubbz was on vacation last week. So we had Danny Masters here as a host.
It was a good time.
It was a good time. He was very knowledgeable about.
He's nice too.
Oh, very nice. He's like one of the nicest guys I know.
Mm-hmm.
With Sea.Dubbz, but like what was going on? Like how did your week go? How was vacation?
The vacation was good. I went to a concert. I went to see Tool, which is my favorite band.
Oh, dude, it's fun.
Pretty good band.
I don't know if you listened to last week's episode at Sea.Dubbz, but we were a little salty and jealous.
I did.
In jest. We were actually really happy to have you.
If I could have it my way, everyone would go see Tool with me.
You need to win that lottery and get us plane tickets out to the show next time.
Just pay them to do a private show for us.
Oh, dude, that'd be
a
awesome.
good idea.
I would love that. Like next, you got time for my next birthday. Birthday's in September, so you got about a year to get that all figured out. Sea.Dubbz.
Mm-hmm. I'll get working on that.
How's your week there, J-Mez?
Oh, my week was very exciting. I played a bunch of RBI baseball on my Switch.
Nice. Yeah, you were saying that you are going to be playing that quite a bit and give us updates. How's that going?
My virtual twins are 41-6, so that's pretty good.
That's really good.
I discovered some options in the game for trading players, and there are some options for manipulating that, making trades a little less strict.
Okay. Does it make it fun?
I don't know if it's fun, but it was funny.
Okay, well, what happened?
I first started off by trading 3 rookie pitchers to the Angels for Mike Trout.
Okay, that doesn't seem fair, but
no.
Well, you got Mike Trout at least.
And then I kicked in my master plan.
Okay, what's that?
Which was I signed a grip of free agents, all of them catchers. I traded them all to the Yankees for all of the Yankees, and then I dispersed the Yankees amongst the worst teams in the league.
That is brilliant.
So now the virtual Yankees are a team of free agent catchers, including the AI did this on their own, but they signed Joe Mauer. They
Pulled him out of retirement?
They took Joe Mauer out of retirement.
Are you saying that the game realized what algorithm you're putting in, so they made sure to put it to get their best catcher?
Yeah, maybe.
Brought him out of retirement and brought him back because they knew that, they're going to be a catching team. Yeah. Oh, man, that's great.
Yeah, I just kind of imagine, like, myself as virtual GM of the Twins sitting down over way too many drinks and illicit substances with the Yankees GM and convincing him how great of a deal this will be.
Dude.
Get all these catchers, man.
You remind me of the real life Marlins a couple years ago.
Yeah.
They just chopped up the whole team, sent them off, and now all those players are thriving.
Yeah.
That sucks. I always hate it when, we have this player that's supposed to be awesome, and they're not good on our team, and then as soon as you send them off, they're perfect. Like, I was gonna say Sano, but what's his name? David
Heimer.
David Ortiz, yeah. He was one of those players.
Yep.
So my week was good. Went to work a lot. I had some things that I was going to talk about when that I thought of earlier that I was going to be like, oh, this is great to talk about in the intro. You know, like when we talk about what we did.
Mm-hmm. All gone now.
All gone. I don't remember. I should have wrote some of that down because I had some really good insights for life.
It was probably the wisest things anyone could hear.
It is the wisest things that anybody could hear, but I cannot remember it. And that's part of the whole thing. Yeah, I suppose if you have wise words and you forget about them, they're even wiser.
But just think how close we were to enlightenment.
Well,
And you messed it up.
Well, no, I didn't mess it up. It's
No, that's everyone else's problem, not his.
It's part of the plan. You need to learn how to speak French or something like that. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. I downloaded a new game for $1. I got that new Outer Worlds game by the old creators of Fallout. And Xbox has this thing where you can sign up for the Game Pass and it's like $9.99, but like right now it's an introductory price for $4.99, and then right now this month it's only $1. So I got a $69 game for fucking $1, and I'm playing it. And what reminded me of it was that there's a character in it. It's all about the cosmologies and like the intricacies of the unknown universe and how everything comes together. And one of my quests was to go get a book for him so he could unlock more of the mysteries of the universe. And I bring it back to him, and he's all pissed off because it's all written in French.
Oh,
and he doesn't know French. He's like, "Oh, this is useless to me." But whatever.
Like, get cultured, bitch.
So that's what I've been doing, is playing this game, twitching it a lot. So if you guys ever want to see this new game being played by me, definitely go to a Twitch, and it's a Fuzzy World, and playing those video games.
Smoking them video games.
I'm happy that I came around and figured out what I was going to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm glad you plugged that because I like watching you play Outer Worlds. So
yeah, it's a fun game. It's good. First time actually going deep into a RPG, actually paying attention to the story and actually building my character instead of just putting random things here or there and just pushing through the gameplay. It's fun. Speaking of which, as in gameplay,
playing games or
watching people play games that are actually going into the physical realm of playing games. We just got done with another horrible Monday Night Football game.
Woo! Boo.
Was it horrible?
Yeah. I mean, two bad teams. One dominated the first half, one dominated the other. At no point was it interesting.
Yeah. So I was sitting here and I was like watching the game a bit, and I'm like, well, okay, so the scores are close, and defense is doing all right, but why is this game not even fun to watch? It's like it felt like they're going through motions.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to it. I'm like, does anybody really even care about these teams other than the people that they play for?
Mm-hmm.
See, and I think that's the problem with tonight's Monday Night Football game. Nobody fucking cares about this game.
And then they pan the camera to the audience, and the stadium's just filled with everyone's mom.
Your mom cares.
Can you do it?
You can do it.
That's my boy.
Only the parents care. So who ended up winning? I didn't even watch the rest of the game.
Steelers took that one.
Yeah, they came back.
So Miami still doesn't have a win.
Oh shit! Really?
Man. Yeah.
Perfect record.
That's not good. Is there any other still fully defeated teams? Is that how
I believe the
Fully
Cincinnati
defeated.
Bengals have also not won a game.
Bengals haven't won either, huh?
I don't
Utterly
think so.
deposed.
Oh.
Which is crazy that there's two of them. And the worst part is for the Bengals, it's like everyone looks at Miami and they're tanking so they can get a good draft pick for next year.
Mm-hmm.
But Cincinnati's not tanking. They're trying to win these games. Like, they want to win. They just can't. They just can't pull it off. They can't put it together. It's too bad. It's really unfortunate for them.
And bless their heart.
That's not good.
Bless their hearts. They're trying.
Yeah.
What happens if the Dolphins and the Bengals ever play each other? Does everyone just like kind of stand around like tripping over the ball?
Who wants to lose?
Yep. First to fumble to 12 wins.
There's an episode of something like that, or like where one team's losing on purpose and the other team.
Oh yeah, that's a South Park.
Yeah, South Park. Yeah.
They play baseball. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one.
That's fun. That's the Bat Dad is in that.
Yes, is the fan.
I am the Bat Dad.
That's so funny.
And the
Speaking of parents being at games,
right?
And the meme of what Stan's dad. I thought this was America. Getting drug out with his pants around his ankles. Ah, such good memes.
Yeah. So Monday Night Football sucks still. No, I don't think there's going to be any hope for it. Is there any future game that might be fun to watch on Monday?
I mean, we can hope, but the chances are no. They usually don't put good games on Monday Night Football. That's the problem. Let's look up the Monday Night Football schedule. Let's see if we've got anything. Because we had one that we thought would be interesting. There was that Lions-Packers one, and then that one sucked.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
there was good football on other nights.
yeah.
I think I watched one of them too.
Wasn't like the whole thing when they brought in Monday Night Football was to showcase their best players to the national audience that weren't able to watch anything that can't watch things on Sunday. Hey, we have something for you to watch on Monday night. Fuck your job. Don't worry.
It used to be, yep.
Yeah.
It used to be a point of pride.
You wanted to be on Monday Night Football. Like that's the prime time fucking slot. Did it change after they changed the theme song?
To be honest, I don't know when it changed because I do know that it's been for a few years now that Monday Night Football has gotten the bad schedule. Like, in fact, Thursday Night Football used to also get a bad schedule. And for Fox to agree to pick it up, they had to give them good games. Like, they had to actually give them a couple matchups people care about. And that's the only reason they signed that contract, because before that, they were all divisional games that were teams no one can, like Tampa Bay versus North Carolina. I mean, unless you're from the NFC South, you don't care about those teams. You want to see the big marquee teams playing each other.
Yeah. I wonder if so they're going through Fox right now
for Thursday Night Football.
Oh, for Thursday night.
Yeah, Monday Night Football has been ESPN. And I just think that at one point they realized they weren't in jeopardy of losing ESPN as a person who pays the contract.
Host, yeah.
So they just were like, screw it, let's just give them whatever the hell we want. We'll just give them the scraps on Mondays.
I can see the NFL doing that because they do weird, shady things like that.
It seems intentional.
Yeah, and then they can whoever else, because then it gives in the background, it gives the other networks leverage to give them more money for the good games without, NFL actually saying that that's what they're doing.
Oh.
Yep.
I can totally see that.
And now they have the other networks used to only, so CBS and Fox only used to be able to have visiting specific games. So say a CBS game would be a visiting AFC team exclusively. And a Fox game would be a visiting NFC team exclusively. And now they've made it so that if CBS really wants to get Packers versus Vikings, they could pay extra to flex that as a CBS game, even though that should be a Fox game. So it's all about money for them right now.
It is all about money.
I mean, big surprise, right?
Yeah, no shit.
Moneyball.
Yeah, that
I should make a movie about
I think we
that.
got to the bottom of that, why Monday night games suck.
Yep.
So
and there was an article out today not today, but recently that was talking about Monday Night Football as being cursed. And it was just them picking up on stories we've covered for a while, you know?
Oh, man.
They're listening live right now, and thank you for using our information for your stories. The Vikings did well this week. They won again. It was... shit, I didn't get the score.
I believe it was 9-19.
9-9. That's a weird score. Like, was it? Like, I wasn't able to watch it because I was at work once again. But how did they get a score like that?
Well, so for the most part, it was just the 3 field goals were the only competitive things that happened for the Washington. But for the Vikings, they only had 1 touchdown. The rest was field goals for them as well, because they were trying to run a very heavy run attack against Washington. Yeah, so, I mean, they weren't being aggressive in the red zone, trying to score a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, they didn't have Thielen in there because he
was
hurt.
No Thielen.
Because this game was supposed to be something that they could have just thrown the jock straps on and win.
Yeah.
You can't win without a jock strap.
No, throw your jocks. That's the thing.
It's against the rules.
That's the term that they always use in high school football. You can't. Yeah, we're gonna kick this shit out of them, but you can't just go and throw your jock strap on the field and expect to win. You actually got to put your effort in, you know.
Okay.
And so, like, they didn't have Thielen, so of course, so they don't have their wide receiver attackers. So of course they're going to go a little bit more run heavy, and if they're expected to win, they don't even need the passing as much. They just run the ball and you'll bulldoze over these guys. But I don't. It doesn't seem like it was like a very easy win.
Right. The first half especially was it seemed a little worrisome because Diggs fumbled early in the game, and so that kind of gave Washington a short field. But then Case really showed that he kind of remembered a lot of how the Vikings defense worked. He was attacking them and picking them apart in the first half until he got knocked out of the game. So, I mean, that helped them be competitive as well.
Oh, that's right. Both Keenum and AP are on the Washington team, aren't they?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that seemed pretty clear that Case, he remembered his opponent. He remembered some stuff and he exploited it. Rhodes also was having a bad game, so that didn't help either.
I remember last week we were talking about how he seemed to be frustrated with his plays and what's going on.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going on with Rose.
I'm worried he's having a drop off. Like Darrelle Revis, who was the greatest cornerback in my opinion of the most recent era, he was great, and then one day he wasn't, and he never was again. And I'm afraid that could be happening to Rhodes, where he's dropped off. He's hit his peak. And
once you hit the peak in the NFL, like you're not staying up there too long.
No.
That's frustrating. That's bad.
Yeah.
He's a good.
I'm worried about
that.
Player.
At the same time, like when I say that it should have been an easy win, and it didn't seem like it was as easy as it should have been. I forget that they had a Sunday game, so like it was a very short week for them.
Mm-hmm.
And not fully rejuvenated and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you do a Thursday night game, you basically only get one practice in the week.
Yep.
And then the rest is walkthroughs and meetings.
Yep.
So
good job, Vikes, for winning that game. Any standouts with that at all? I guess.
Just Cook, man. That guy is on fire. He just stands out every time. And same with actually the backup running back as well. I believe Alexander Madison. He's been doing really good as well. So yeah, the running attack for the Vikings is just working. And Kirk Cousins was actually almost perfect at this game. During this game, he only missed I think 2 or 3 passes the whole game.
Awesome. That's awesome.
He only threw it about 20 something times, but still, that's a really good completion, So yeah, he was doing good.
Thanks, Kirk.
Captain Kirk.
Speaking of quarterbacks, we got a prominent quarterback back. Drew Brees is back and looking just as good as ever, I guess.
Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Teddy, definitely not going to be coming back with Brees back. Just wanted to kind of just mention that quick. And you had something about Cleveland doing some stupid shit?
Yes. So Cleveland decided the Cleveland played the Patriots this week, and they were down, and so they decided to go for it on 4th down, but they decided to take a delay of game first. So instead of being 4th and 9, it was 4th and 14, I believe. And then they tried to do a pass play that broke down immediately, and Baker Mayfield got sacked even 10 yards farther back, thus giving the ball over to New England in basically the red zone. Like,
it makes no sense.
It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. The execution was worse than the call. Like, the call was already stupid, but then the way that they executed the play, or I should say didn't execute the play, was even worse than the call itself.
Yeah.
Like, it was pathetic. I hate harping on these guys, but everyone wants them to be good. But until they do something, I refuse to jump on their bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to. I want the Browns to be good. I would love to see this happen, but it is not happening.
Yeah, I want to jump on that bandwagon too, but if they don't show you anything, any progression,
no, nothing.
What are you going to do?
Even with those great players, they can't do anything.
So with go ahead.
You got to know where that bandwagon's heading before you hop on.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's going off a cliff right now. That's where that one's going.
Yeah, why did you get on that one?
So with that, the Patriots once again are undefeated, 8-0. We got the Chiefs 5-3, Ravens 5-2, the Colts 5-2, Cowboys 4-3. The 49ers are still 7-0. Packers, where is this? 7-1. With our Vikings 6-2, and Lions and Bears. Oh my! I didn't do that on purpose, but it worked. Are at the bottom of the rung, 3 wins only for both of them. That's not good. The Saints 7-1. So
3 wins ain't
we got
so
some
bad.
lopsided. We got some lopsided standings here. Some really good teams and some really bad teams.
San Francisco's still undefeated.
Yep, 7-0.
And then there's something else I wanted to bring up. So the Patriots, I learned this stat last week, and since I wasn't on, I didn't get to say it. So I don't know the updated version of it now. But as of last week, before the game they just played this week, if the defense was the only part of the New England Patriots team, like as if Tom Brady never took the field, and they played those entire games of football, the current record of the New England Patriots with just their defense would be 3-3-1. Like, they would have won 3 games with how many points their defense scored against the opposing team's offense.
Holy shit.
They would have won 3 games and tied 1.
That's insane.
That's how good their defense is.
So it isn't just Tom Brady.
No, their defense has been scoring a lot of points for them too.
Wow.
That's 3-3-1. And as of this week, I bet it would be like 3. I don't know if they got any. So it'd probably be 3-4-1 or 3-3-2. Like, would probably be their defense's record if the offense never took the field.
I'm pretty dumbfounded by that stat.
It's absurd. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Isn't that just?
That's
wow.
A really good team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Oh boy, what do we do? What do we do?
We trade the team and break it up and fill it full of catchers.
Ah, great idea.
Yeah, especially since catchers don't play football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I need to buy a football video game and do that.
Speaking of which, catchers play for baseball.
Hey, baseball.
And
Mamba season.
We got a lot of things that happened in the World Series this week. We had some a dude catch a chest ball. Like, did you see that guy? Like, they hit a home run to this guy, and he like bumped it with his chest.
Yep.
We also had a lady flash at the World Series for breast cancer awareness. We also had some really bad strike calls that weren't strikes, and then made up for strikes that weren't strikes. And we're back to this whole aspect of, do we need to have robotic umpires?
Do we? I mean, are they going to get their shit together, or do we got to automate their jobs?
I mean, you saw how upset I was just now as you were explaining it.
Yeah.
It's absurd. He calls a pitch properly a ball because that's what it is. The other team gets mad and wishes it was a strike, and they protest and they throw a tantrum. Then the next batter comes up, and gets almost the same pitch except a little farther outside, and the umpire feels bad that he made the other team upset with his previous correct call, so he calls this one a strike for a third strike to end the inning. Like,
and
you don't even have to make a makeup call.
It was a further out ball.
Yes,
like it was even further out than the last one. And like, I understand making up for calls, but if it's the correct call that you made in the first place, you don't need to correct that call.
Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't be having to correct calls in the first place if you just use the automatic strike zone, which we all know exists and can be used properly.
What's going through his mind? Do you think that do you think that he's thinking like, oh man, maybe I did call that wrong?
Yes. I think that's exactly what he thought. I think he second-guessed himself, which is like he just shouldn't have done that.
No, he's the umpire. So the umpires are there to give strictly what they see and have no influence from anybody else or any outside sources of what that call is made, because he is the umpire. He is the judge of what's going on.
There's propriety.
He's like Dad. You know, like Dad tells you this is the way it is. That's the way it is.
Then all of a sudden, Dad checks his Twitter and it's not looking good. So then he feels bad and he's like, "I gotta be popular." And
oh man, maybe I
want people to like me. Maybe I made the bad choice.
Maybe Jameis shouldn't be grounded.
Yeah,
and then you get a piece of pie.
And then the next thing comes along where I shouldn't be grounded, and then he's like, "No, you're grounded."
Yeah, because I need to make up that call.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that.
You know, it's funny. The same thing
and
happened.
That can't be replayed.
No.
Well, a similar thing happened in, I believe it was the last game of the Yankees-Astros, where Gary Sanchez swung at a ball that went in the dirt and bounced off like the catcher's mitt or something. But the umpire called it a foul tip when it was a strikeout, and then Gary Sanchez was still at bat. And then the next call, I believe, was like something that was like probably inside, but just like on the edge of inside, and he didn't swing or something. And the umpire's like, "No, you're out," because you should have been out.
Him up to make up for missing it before. I believe they did another instance of this on a play. I think it was against the Astros. There was Kurt Suzuki's glove hit the bat, and they completely were like, "Nope, didn't happen," and it did, and like he should have been on base. It should have been a total bases loaded scenario or something like that. And yeah, they were just like, no. It's like they were showing it on replay 100 times on the television that his glove hit the bat, and it's just like, how can we not have this be corrected?
Yeah,
but even though I'm rooting for the Nationals in this, you got to be fair about it.
You got to be fair.
In that situation, did the umpire then make a call that seemed to be making up for that?
I think the batter walked anyway, or something like that. I believe there was a makeup at the end of that, if I'm remembering correctly. I think he let him walk, like on a pitch that was at the bottom of the zone and should have been a strike, but he was like, "Yeah, it's fine," So it's.
Back to the question, do we need replays and do we need automatic strike zones?
I think we do. Egregious replays. I don't think we need to replay every fucking thing. But shit like that, if it's to correct it, New York should chime in and say, "Yo, that was wrong. Fix it."
Yep. I think that, because it needs to be a fair game.
Exactly.
But even, I think it's more important to ask when it seems apparent that an umpire is... then making an intentional call for the purpose of like second guessing maybe a tight call. Yeah. And that kind of goes beyond do we need replays or automated umpires? Like what does that say when an umpire seems to be doing that, Mm-hmm. Just like not having necessarily an integrity over that.
Well, my first thought goes straight to is the ump being paid off? Because if an umpire can exist where he will second guess himself, that also allows the existence of being manipulated by something.
some other source.
You
It
know,
doesn't have to be nefariously done, like you're maybe suggesting, but I think that it can show you can be influenced, whether or not it's like being paid off. But I'm saying, you can be influenced by the crowd being too pissed, or maybe you make a call the other way to piss off the crowd more.
You said earlier, doesn't want a feedback from Twitter, or the internet. You know,
the umpires' Twitter has got to be fire. They can't have it any other way.
Can't imagine during this internet age of being somebody in that position nowadays, you know, where all of a sudden you make the wrong call, and all of a sudden the next day you wake up and there's millions of people yelling at you.
That's ump life, man.
But speaking of making the wrong call, there was an umpire who made the wrong call by tweeting about buying an assault rifle if Trump gets impeached and creating class warfare.
Jesus Christ, what?
Yeah,
I didn't hear
he apologized for it, but that doesn't change the fact that he tweeted it.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, there's that too.
Just don't put that on Twitter, maybe.
Why would you even put that on Twitter? And why is that person an umpire?
Yeah. But, so there's that.
Why is that a person?
Yeah, why is that a person? Is the proper question.
That's crazy. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
I did hear that the Nats. Let's get to the World Series here. The Nats, their pitching is kind of starting. So Max got hurt.
Yes, so their best pitcher has been shutting down everyone, and they've been pushing him as far as he can go. The whole reason they're in the situation they're in is because of Scherzer and Strasburg, and so they've been pushing them to 120 or so pitch counts. They're pushing them deep in games. They're pitching them on short rest. And it finally caught up and bit them in the butt. He had a neck injury, a neck tightness, I believe it was. And so he wasn't able to pitch the most recent game of the World Series. And they got rocked by being short-staffed, by not having a pitcher to put in that situation because everyone else was so tired and so short rest.
Oh, that's not good.
They got worn out scoring 12 runs a game, and then they just didn't get a nap in.
I mean, their offense is bad too. They need to step up, but their pitching finally collapsed. It finally happened.
That's what makes or breaks a World Series team is if it's a good series, it's going to go long, and you need to have that bullpen to back you up.
Yep. Because the last two, they were, it wasn't that they were expected to lose, but if they were going to lose, it was probably going to be against Anibal Sanchez. They lost, so that was kind of expected. Then Corbin was supposed to be pretty good, and but he too gave up a bit. And so that was another one they weren't expecting to lose, but could afford to. And so then this one was supposed to be, we win this game. Yep. But they couldn't put their pitcher in, and they lost. And so it's now worst case scenario for them, which is, putting them against the wall. They're really stuck now.
I guess we'll see how this all pans out. It's Astros up 3, Nats 2.
Mm-hmm. Game 6 in the Thunderdome.
And am I correct that the GM of the Astros got fired?
Yes, the GM of the Astros was fired because he is a pig.
During World Series, even how big of a lowlife can you be to be fired during a World Series? Yeah, and he taunted female reporters about having a player on their team, being happy a player was on their team who had been been found guilty of domestic assault or domestic abuse or something like that. So he was taunting them, and one of them was a domestic abuse survivor. So they fucking filed a report against him. The Astros denied it at first, did an internal investigation, and found everything was true. That he not only did it, but he did it with nefarious intent. And so they canned him, which is the correct thing to do. And good on them for canning him during the World Series, not waiting for this to be done or anything like that, so they could just push it aside. They did it right now. And, good on the Astros to fucking do that. And
thank you, Astros.
And screw him. Hopefully he can just go away. and not hurt anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And just like how, I was saying, how big of a lowlife can you be to be fired during a World Series? And then there's somebody else that gets booed and jeered at the World Series from all the fucking fans there. And I don't even really want to bring up his name because fuck that motherfucker.
That's fine.
We don't need to talk about him. But I hope you guys noticed the intro today was spliced together, and I thought that was cool. And that's something that is really neat with Fuzz Talk Radio and FuzzJock Radio, is that I'm able to start playing around with sounds and different things, and this is a lot of fun. And I really hope that you, the listeners, are having fun with us. We have this podcast that goes live every Monday night right after the Monday Night Football game, right at 10:30 Central Standard Time, and then re-downloaded on Tuesdays, or downloadable on Tuesdays on Spotify, Google Play, the website, soon iTunes and iHeartRadio. Yeah. And then along with the podcast, there's a 24-hour streaming service of music that is mostly centered around local Mankato music, and then a bunch of other music that comes to Mankato and plays. A lot of awesome talent. So if you're ever looking for something new to listen to, make sure to tune into just the live playlist by going to FuzzTalkRadio.com. And then we also have live shows like this, and like Dagger Radio on Sunday nights, which is an all-punk skate rock show that goes on Sundays from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. And with more support from you guys, as in tuning in or telling your friends that we're doing this, we'll be able to gather up more shows to play for you and have other things going on. Remember, you can go to FuzzTalkShop.com and purchase hoodies and t-shirts and stuff like that, and keep us away from actual sponsors and advertisements. So that's where we're at. Halfway through the show now, and we got some basketball to talk about. Fucking TWolves are 3-0 still.
Go Wolves.
Or still, they're 3-0.
Undefeated.
Yeah, dude. Watched the game last night. Was awesome.
So good.
Flip Saunders, his son, looked great. Can't remember what his first name is, but like
Chip Saunders.
Chip.
No.
You said that so like knowingly too. I'm very sorry that
Ryan.
I can't. Yeah,
I'm calling him Chip from now on.
Okay.
Flip and Chip.
Flip and Chip and what's his name down the street?
Oh, Glenn.
Glenn down the street.
Yeah, Glenn down the street.
No, the Timberwolves looked great. Saunders looked great as a coach. The first half, or the first inning, or I can't even talk right now. The first quarter, Towns dominated, hitting those threes. It was really fun to see him actually look comfortable playing. Unfortunately, the second and third quarter was horseshit and a lot of turnovers, and there was a lot of turnovers in this game between both the teams.
Yeah, both teams are guilty of that.
And it was not good. And something happened with awesome coaching is that Saunders noticed that Wiggins was not putting in his due time and put him on the bench. And he came back in the fourth quarter and fucking dominated. Four three-pointers in a row. The bench clearing three-pointers. The whole team cleared the benches and celebrated with them, and
they took the lead with it.
Mm-hmm.
They were trailing and took the lead with his shot, and then solidified it with the following shots.
Yeah, it was
our guy.
It was our guy.
It's our guy.
That was your Wiggins update. So yeah, I started doing sound effects last week, Sea.Dubbz. I hope you like it.
I love it.
But yeah, it was a great game to watch.
You know what I saw live was like the players communicating well on the court. Looking around.
looked like they were
finding
having
their spots.
It looked like they were having fun playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I think it helps to bring funness to the court when you're such a young team. And with Saunders being a young person himself, like he understands that more than anybody, that the young players are looking for fun, and if they are having fun, they're going to excel. Right?
I agree.
Does that
They
make
do it
sense?
in practice too.
Yeah.
Yep, they look like they have fun. They do team building skills where they play one-on-one against each other and try and see who can do the fancier move, and then they get excited against each other when they get beat. It's not like, oh, he beat me and I'm pissed at him. He's like, yeah, you did it, man. Good job, teammate. You know.
With the bench clearing for that 3-pointer and the coach, them allowing them to do that, that's fun, and that gets that adrenaline going. And a big thing with basketball that I was reminded of is the back and how much momentum is needed in basketball games. Like, you can be down 20 points and still come back really easily, as long as you get that momentum behind you. If you go on fire, I'm hoping for future games that they can sustain that energy instead of it being lopsided quarters like that. I remember talking to Intelligent Design and seeing how well they were doing in the first quarter. I actually told them, I'm like, I really hope they can keep up this energy to the end. But they reserved themselves, I guess, and came back, woke up Wiggins and got it going. So that's cool.
Thanks, Wiggins.
I hope everyone was tweeting at him because I think it worked.
Yeah, we never stop believing in you, Wiggins. You have what it takes.
Just give him some tweeting love, and we will be 4-0 next time we come back. Or
Maybe even 5-0.
Maybe 5-0.
Maybe 6-0.
Maybe 7-0.
The LA games happened in LA.
Yes.
In the MLS.
Trafico, that's what it's called. And yeah, LA Galaxy versus LAFC. It was a fantastic game. There were, what was it? I think 8 goals scored in the entire game. So it was a 5-3 affair. It was beautiful. LAFC ended up winning the game in a gorgeous fashion. Carlos Vela scored 2 goals. Diomande scored 2 goals, and Rossi got a goal. It was absolutely beautiful. So I would just suggest, if you're out there wondering about soccer, now is the time to watch. It's the playoffs. This is the good stuff. It's just freaking gold right now. Go
soccer.
LAFC.
Are you watching soccer yet?
You gotta watch soccer.
Yeah.
Stop listening to us. Soccer. Go watch soccer.
Soccer and cricket.
You know what that sound means?
No.
Fuzz Trivia is upon us. Fuzzy Memories is back once again. I don't have the scorecard up, so I don't know what the scores are, but I'll bring that up while we're doing the trivia here. Because we're kind of running out of time. This episode went a little quick, so Fuzzy Trivia. I'm not ready.
Oh, we're not ready.
No. Well, I believe so.
You missed last round, but luckily for you, I forgot all the answers, so I didn't score anything. So I think I still lead you by 1, thanks to the the anointed point.
That's what happens in fuzzy memories.
Yeah,
and
it's a fuzzy point.
Yeah, and we're ready, and we'll go right ahead here. Trying to get the whiteboard out of my way.
This is episode 7.
Episode 7.
I go first.
Trivia. Jamez goes first. Jamez. I got it.
I'm not ready at all. Let's do it.
Which was the only team to win 2 World Series in the 1980s?
That was the Detroit Tigers.
Incorrect. Sea.Dubbz.
The 80s. I'm going to go with Another team in the division. I'll go with the White Sox.
Incorrect. The Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 81 and 89?
84.
84?
Yeah.
It doesn't say.
Oh.
It was 84.
Sea.Dubbz. How many
Oral
home runs
Hershiser.
did baseball great Ty Cobb hit in the 3 World Series in which he played?
We've had this one before, and the answer is 0.
Oh, that is correct.
Oh, dude.
See,
I
no,
remembered that
memory.
one, too.
You got to remember.
Mhm.
Sea.Dubbz got 1 point, and he is up 8. Jamez 8.
All right.
Okay. Jamez,
Yes.
question number 3.
All
Who
right.
beat Ivan Lendl in the French Open using underhand serves?
Who beat him?
Yep. Who beat Ivan Lendl?
Okay. It was Pete Sampras.
Incorrect. Sea.Dubbz.
Does it have a year?
No?
Okay. I'm just going to go with
It was
Serena
84.
Williams.
Michael Chang.
Oh, okay.
That also happened in 84.
Question number 4.
All right.
Sea.Dubbz, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, was first keeper for which English football club?
Manchester U.
Incorrect. Jamez.
Liverpool.
Incorrect. AFC Portsmouth.
Oh, of course.
Of course, my favorite.
Yes.
Which country dominates Olympics basketball like no one else?
The United States.
Correct.
Yeah.
Jamez 1.
Thanks, Obama.
Sea.Dubbz 1, so we're now 9-8. 9-8. Okay, and this is question number 5.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sea.Dubbz. Before the NFL mandated the use of helmets in 1943, who was the last player not to use one?
I'm trying to think of some of those old names. Oh, shit. I don't know. I'm going to go with Ty Cobb.
Nope. Jamez.
It's, it was Bumpy Concussed Much.
Incorrect. It was the Chicago Bears lineman Dick Plasman.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I bet he's
Plasma.
bumpy. and
Okay, so
concussed.
now we're up for, hey, Dylan. You got your question for the night?
I haven't thought of one yet.
Dylan has not thought of one yet. Well, come back to us if you think of a question. We will we'll chime you in at the end of the show. Okay. Okay. So that was a good round. Oh, I need to do that thing here because ready.
Okay.
And that was another round of fuzzy memories.
Was it?
You guys like that?
yes.
Yeah, sweet.
It's nice.
Nice. So
It's all right.
that round of fuzzy memories
I
went
mean,
really
that-
quick. Are we sure that we got all the questions in?
Well, we repeated one question, and I don't know.
Well,
I got a
that
pretty
happens.
hard question in there. So
I think we might be. Wait, no, that's even.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're even.
Okay, so the score now after fuzzy memories once again is Jamez 9, Sea.Dubbz 8.
so
I got a point.
Yes.
I did it.
Yeah, and this is a hard game. It's a hard game to play.
it is. You gotta really know sports to have as many points as I do.
So
It's true. It's
yeah,
fast.
this episode went really fast.
It was fun.
It was fun.
A lot to talk about.
I really don't want to get going.
No, let's stay
But-
forever.
but we got to because we kind of said that everything is going to be, an hour or so. But I don't know. It's been another great episode, and it went really fast. Anything, last things you want to say there, James? Last words?
I'm just sorry for the virtual Yankees on my RBI baseball game.
You're sorry that you did that, or you're sorry for the team?
No, I'm sorry for the players in their psycho Black Mirror-esque world. I call it smudged mirror.
Smudged mirror.
It's just like making AI do dumb things.
I like it.
So.
Oh, poor AI guys.
Poor cookies.
C-Dubbz, do you have any last words for the audience?
Yeah, tune in Tuesday and watch Seattle Sounders versus LAFC. It's going to be a wonderful game.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Make sure to tune into my A Fuzzy World and watch this new game that I'm playing for $1. It's pretty great. Make sure to tune in next Sunday for Dagger Radio from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. KMSU every Friday from 6 to 7. Go to FuzzTalkShop.com and get yourself a hoodie. It's getting cold out. And, yeah, I guess that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We love you, people. We love you. And if you're an alien, we love you, too.
Yeah.
And if you're...
Maybe a little more.
Anybody else, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, Mankato. Internet, we love you. I love you very much. And
kitty cats.
We will see you in the future.
FuzzJockRadio!
Hut, hut, hike!
Ah!